So people often ask me, so Captain Keith, what is a favorite feature of Shangri-La? And for me, I would say it's this area that we've been sitting in right now, the flybridge. I love it because I get to share with the guests sights and sounds. It might be an eagle ray flying out of the water. It could just be the beautiful topography of the various islands. I can share with them the sailing of the yacht, or it's really fun to watch the kids' eyes sparkle when they get to steer the yacht for the first time. So for me, this is kind of where it's like a family space where everybody's together and it happens, and we just enjoy a day on the water. Amanda, what do you think?
I love the flybridge, of course, for all those reasons, but I also love to get out in the sun. And what's unique on this boat is that we have a lovely seating area up on the bow. So it's nice and cushioned. You can sit up there, get the salt spray, enjoy the view, or get wind blowing in your hair. So for me, that's my favorite. So you kind of get the best of both worlds, you know. Shaded, good view, and seating on the bow. So, Captain, I've got to ask, what is it about the chef's personality that makes her stand out? You know, approach to cuisine, favorite meals. What do you reckon?
Well, there's so many things, but I will start with your personality itself. Amanda, you are very positive, energetic, and you have a great example of a characteristic I like to call woo. It's innate in your character to be concerned about other people having an amazing time. So you're always positive, you're open, you're up, and I think you have top present in your thought all the time. What can you do to make the guest experience outstanding, one that they will remember for the rest of their life? Signature dish, man, when it comes to the macadamia encrusted fish, whether it's wahoo or mahi or whichever fish we have at the time, it's definitely a fan favorite for me. So that's the one that gets high points for me. So, Chef, what is it about my personality, interaction with guests, or entertainment skills, and I know it's not my singing, that you think guests enjoy?
Well, first off, your ability to keep a nice, light sense of humor and keep guests laughing, that's for sure, you know. Your experience, however, is what I think is definitely most important, and that stands out, is that you've done so much sailing in so many different parts of the world. You're familiar with this area, chartering here, and all the unique spots that we can go, and your sense of humor, your ability to make people laugh and to connect with the guests, and also pay attention to what they need as well. I would say you have that root quality as well, Captain.
Awesome. Well, thank you. I'm going to have to try to live up to all that. But so that brings us to previous life experiences. What is previous life experiences have you had that contribute to your success as charter crew? So for me, I think it's a couple things. If I set aside sailing and water skiing and fishing, fresh and salt, and I set aside anything to do with yachting or boating or sailing, you know, I did for 25 years work in a corporate environment where I was very concerned about guest experiences and had a high degree of organization skills for a large organization I ran. So detail, attention to detail, communication skills, those are things that have definitely helped me in yachting as well. And I also was fortunate enough to enjoy several years in the restaurant career, both anywhere from a server to a general manager to a bartender. And I love making an amazing drink for guests or watching them enjoy a fabulous dinner. So I think it's some of the hospitality skills and then also the organization and communication skills that help me in this industry.
Absolutely. I've got to say I can sort of agree with that from my end, is hospitality experience in the past, and you know, just getting a feel for taking care of others and making sure they're happy, and also growing up by the ocean. For me, it's second nature to be by the water, so I like to be able to share that with guests and make sure that they're also comfortable while they're here. So that brings us into our next question. How did you get into sailing or chartering?
Well, there's two stories. One is the initial sailing story. When I was a youth in my early teens, I would go to summer camp. And a good friend of mine had a sunfish there and also a hobie cat. And what we loved to do was sail over by the YWCA girls camp and flip the boats over and act as though we were in need of rescue. And then we would ride the boats over and sail close to the beach and ask the girls if they wanted to go for a ride. So that was part of it. I was just enjoying
Sense of humor, yes.
Right? Well, yeah, a little forward probably, but yes. And then the second one was I had the great fortune back in 1998 to go to the Virgin Islands with a very good friend on a bareboat charter experience. And I just immediately took to it. I was totally bitten by the sailing bug. I found the sailor inside. And for me, again, the two things I love to see among our guests are when they find their own internal sailor and when we're scuba diving together and they realize how awesome the undersea world is around the Virgin Islands. So that's it. You know, it's really a YWCA and a really good friend's fault. But I've been so blessed to have this experience. I'm thrilled to be here.
That's wonderful. I can say I have the same experience with the Hobie kids and, you know, picking up the guys on the beach on my end, but I will say that I grew up on the ocean and my uncle had a sailboat that he used to take us out on as kids, so we really got to enjoy being out by the water and up on our grandparents' lake house. It was more my cousins throwing us in the water and, you know, teaching us how to swim that way, which was also quite adventurous, I guess.
Perfect.
So yeah, and it's sailing and chartering, and that was being by the water, and after college I just wanted to get back to the sea, so that combined my love of hospitality and, you know, enjoying, I can help anyone else enjoy the same vacation, same experience.
Over the years, for me, I was fortunate enough to have a boat of my own that I was able to keep in the islands for a number of seasons, and my career supplied me with sufficient time off to be able to enjoy that, run some charters down here, dive trips, things like that. So I knew from early on that I wanted to find a way to enjoy this amazing place and make a living at the same time. Every time I got on the airplane to fly back home to the mainland, I thought, why am I going back? And then I remembered, oh yeah, it's family and all those wonderful things. And I was excited to go back. But I knew when I had the chance to retire from the corporate world that I was going to find a way to share the Virgin Islands with other people, my love of sailing, diving, and other water sports. So that's how I ended up here.
Yeah. So speaking of sharing with others, as far as catering to different groups of people, I would say that for us, for me, for sure, I love to have anyone that's excited about being here. I think you'd agree with that, Keith, right?
Yeah, for sure.
As far as different groups that we cater to, I mean, whether it's families that get some time off the cell phone with the kids, they don't always get to spend that time together in one place, they're scattered around. You get to be together on a boat, you get to enjoy the same experiences and chat and have meals together, which is great. Also, whether it be active as well, like having adventurers on board. If they're excited to be here, if you're excited to be here, and we'd love to take you hiking, scuba diving, of course, snorkeling. Oh, what do you reckon, Keith?
So for me, I would agree with that. It definitely is. Actually, you know, the variety is kind of what makes it fun. Because when I think about several dozen charters here in the Virgin Islands, we've had guests, you know, in their 70s. We've had young families. We've had people from all walks of life, some famous, some less famous. And what's really touching is when I think back to our very first charter, and I kind of almost feel sorry for those folks because I'm not sure we were really in our A game, but they had a great time, and I remember them saying that this was a once-in-a-lifetime trip for them, that they had saved a long time, and to be trusted with that responsibility for a vacation is huge. And
Absolutely.
I totally enjoy that, being able to give them the experience they've dreamed of for years. That's awesome.
Yes, and it's unique for every group of people, you know.
Totally.
I totally agree. And so, say for example for kids, like what's your favorite activity for kids on charter?
Throwing them off the boat. Oh no. No, you know, I like to figure out what they want to do. I guess that's an easy answer to the question, but it is about what do they want to do. And I also at the same time want to introduce them to new things. If they've never snorkeled before, I want to introduce them to that. If they're old enough and they have an interest beyond snorkeling, I'd love to help them become a bubble maker and teach them scuba diving.
As well.
I think just sharing the recreation and some of the function of the yacht at a high level it's great to have an 8 or 10-year-old become your second or third mate because they've learned a bit about sailing and boat handling during the week. So I want to expose them to things they haven't seen before, but also find the things they love and make sure there's time for that.
Absolutely. And I'd be happy to help them with scavenger hunts, playing board games. They might want to give me a hand in the galley, teach them a recipe. They might even teach me a nice new recipe. That'd be awesome. So as far as upping our charter game, what's new for this season?
I think this year we have a unique opportunity to explore in more depth St. Croix. It's an island that I've only visited occasionally with charters, but given what's going on in the rest of the world, it's awesome to be able to explore St. Croix in depth. Very few people have really had a chance to enjoy that. So I'm really looking forward to doing that. How about
Absolutely.
you?
Yes, and also going further around St. Thomas, St. John. I mean, there's a lot of places we don't always get to take guests. We might get to enjoy them from time to time, but it's a unique experience when we get to take everyone around to secret spots that we don't always get to see when we're just passing through.
Exactly. No, we're not going to talk about any of those secrets right now.
No, not yet.
So people also ask me what is my favorite charter memory. They also ask me what are some of the most unique questions I've ever been asked. I have been asked whether the islands are always anchored in the same spot or if they move around from time to time. I have been asked whether there's actually water on the other side of the island too. Wow. But my favorite charter memory is that on a couple of occasions, on 2 occasions, I've had the opportunity to officiate in a wedding, which is extremely cool in the British Virgin Islands. Which I can legally do there because it's international. And I also have had the opportunity to do one vow renewal for a couple who was celebrating their 25th anniversary with their best friends who actually were their best man and matron of honor at their wedding. So to have all of them back together again and have that responsibility to help them relive that and renew their commitment to each other, that was really cool. So the sky's the limit on Shangri-La.
That's right, that's right. I must agree with you on that as far as favourite charter memories is having guests that have been here like 15, 20 years ago and they came back because they had such a wonderful time to share it with friends again and kind of relive those moments and see how things have changed and also visit the same spots that, are still just as treasured as they were when they first came here. So that's great.
So if you could be any sea animal, Amanda,
yes,
which one would you choose and why?
Oh gosh, I love the turtles. I think they're pretty cool. I've read that turtles can swim like normally like 5 or 6 kilometers an hour. They pop up to the surface, see what's going on, and then go back on their way. But they can swim really fast. They can swim up to like 20 kilometers an hour, which I think is pretty cool. So I'd be a graceful turtle, I think.
I love turtles. They're also cool because they sleep underwater. And I always feel like they're playing peekaboo with us.
Yes. Yes. They have a little sense of humor, I think.
Yeah, I got to admit, I love dolphins. Dolphin is cool. We see them occasionally here, not every day, which just makes those sightings even more special. We have had the opportunity to swim with them and celebrate a friend's birthday while swimming with the dolphins in the wild, just ad hoc. We've seen dolphins around several of the islands and while underway, and I never get tired of trying to talk to them and trying to get them to swim into our bow wave as we go along. So we hope that you've enjoyed our time together on Shangri-La and the opportunity to get to know us a little better. We look forward to getting to know you, to welcoming you aboard this amazing yacht, and to tailoring your vacation to your desires. Amanda, any parting thoughts?
I think you've said it just right, Keith. We look forward to having you aboard, folks.
Hurry up, come on down.
Thank you.